Hello there. I'm Warren, and this will be my submission video for Cinema History class, week 3. And there's 4 questions, and I will just go one by one with each of them. The first one was, what's the most interesting or surprising idea that I like from this week? The one I loved the most was learning that a lot of these filmmaking techniques they got developed very early on, like back in those days. I think it started off as like just simple recordings of your everyday life, like getting off bed and leaving for your house to catch the train and all that. But the early filmmakers they realized that they could implement more techniques like intentional camera movement or like adding special effects into the footage, and it just became like this cool storytelling method that other other art forms cannot replicate. That was what stood out to me the most from the lecture, because I thought all these techniques they got developed very later on in the time period. But no, watching story of film, it showed me that yeah, the earliest pioneers they create a lot of creative stuff, even with the amount of little technology that they have. Okay, second question, what what technique that I like from the man with the movie camera? And the technique I like the most was its editing, cause like I think I'm saying this right, Vertrov, they use a lot of rapid editing to shift between scenes of like trains, factories, athletes, and just people relaxing, and it just helped show this like big image of the Soviet life, and show that the city was like constantly being alive and moving. Um, other good stuff about the editing is that how it interact with the audience, like it helped create help them engage because they constantly show new images or perspective every single second. um oh, some other stuff was like Virchow also showed the cameraman filming the city and like the editors putting the movie together, and just like it's a reminder to the audience that it's this is a creative process rather than like just a simple recording. Yeah, third question is what of documentary animation and what and comedy which have had the greatest influence of history. I'm gonna side with documentary because it show people that there's a whole new method of learning about real life events. Like instead of like seeing or reading like those events, they can actually see with their eyes what's happening on screen and learn more different perspectives. Like um, I think since we're talking about man with the movie camera, I think it's also a great example of a documentary. Like it kept showing the different lives, the life in the Soviet city, like athletes, people relaxing and all that. But yeah, that's my. What's fourth question? Examples of documentary in in movies, television, YouTube, or other history. Uh, some examples are like, mm, the editing techniques. Like, you can see, today we use a lot of like fast editing to keep the audience engaged, and even like slow pace shots. Like those are even used in like the World Cup and all that to show like that for us to observe it clearly. But yeah, and even like it's on YouTube everywhere. Like documentaries are everywhere, and even on TikTok, there's always influencers recording their lives like it's a documentary, like it's a get ready with me, and yeah, those are my answers for the 4 questions. Overall, I really just like this week because I got to learn a lot about animation and documents and all that. Okay, bye bye.